about what your personal preparation and what it's going to really take to win.
Yeah, obviously it's a quick turnaround from the last game. We know PSG is probably one of the best teams in the world right now. We just have to take a bit from film that we've done and also see how they played Atletico and Botafogo, and try to apply that to our game plan.
I don't know, is it a little surreal for you to be looking at the possibility of starting against the best team in the world in a game that matters at home?
Yeah, but also this is like what you train for. This is what you work for. As a player and an athlete and competitor, you want to be in these type of moments and these situations. So, I'm not looking at it as more as an opportunity and thankful that I get this opportunity.
What's been the response like outside of you guys, your family, friends, things like that? Are they excited for you, or do you have to kind of shut it out to be able to focus?
Nah,
what's that like?
Especially from my family, my whole family flew out here. They're all excited for me and happy for me that I'm being able to play in this Club World Cup and have this opportunity and play in front of all these fans and at a grand stage.
You mentioned about the opportunity. What does the opportunity mean to you? Because this is the biggest stage.
Yeah.
And getting to showcase your ability, what does that opportunity mean to you?
It's like everything, I think I've always wanted to be a professional footballer since I was young, and being able to play against the top teams in the world and stuff like that, and being able to be here just shows like the hard work that really put in pays off, the opportunity and the commitment, waking up early and staying out after training and doing extra work and all that type of stuff. It pays off in the end.
You're coming up against a team that enjoys pressing the ball. How do you personally prepare for that sort of battle?
You just have to be confident, calm on the ball. It's kind of how we play already, possession based, and we know teams are going to press. We have two good holding midfielders, Obed and Christian. We know how to play through the lines and everything that comes in that. We train on it on a daily basis.
What have you been impressed with, I guess, about PSG?
I've watched them play since I was young. So, but obviously, their Champions League run this year was very impressive. I think a lot of teams didn't think they were going to be the ones to stand out, but they really did. They're very disciplined. They play as a collective group, and I think that's one of the reasons why they've been so successful this past year.
You guys have been around each other for a while too. Do you feel that helping, that you guys are a true team in a sense, since you've been around each other for a while?
Yeah, of course. It's chemistry. That's everything. And then obviously, we train a lot, and we're in the film session together, and we play through these matches together, and we learn every time we go on the field.
And maybe it sounds a little, I don't know, naive, but are there advantages that you can find in this matchup?
Yeah. Each game I've played so far, I've honestly been a sponge. Learning what it takes to play at that next level. There's like a 5% difference, I feel like, and that's the type of difference it makes to, be from level 1 to level 5. So, I kind of just take everything in.
You speak on the film sessions, but of course this is a massive platform you're getting to play on. Personally, how does it feel when you enter the field of play with that many fans, these massive opponents?
Honestly, I don't even think about it. I zone it all out. The only thing I'm focused on is the ball in between those white lines. This is not the first game I've played, and it's not going to be the last. Kind of just learn to have fun. That's what football is. It's a simple game, and you go out there and play with confidence and the ability that you have.
We've seen that PSG can be contained from a team that you played very well against as a team. Does that give you added confidence going into this game that you can get the result you need?
Yeah, for sure. I think it goes back to what I said earlier. It's just being a collective group. We all have to be disciplined. We all have to be locked in, all 11 guys on that field. We know it's not going to be an easy game, and we know it's going to challenge us just like the last two games did. But, we go into it with the same the right mindset and, play with confidence. I think, we can get something out of it.
You guys are on a 4-game losing streak, though. Does it feel like that, or what's the mentality as far as that goes?
Yeah, we know we're on a losing game streak, but, we're going into each game as if we can win it or we can get a result from it. You're only as good as your last game. So that's what we're doing. We're playing hard, and we're trying to get something out of it. We're not worried about the past results. We're worried about the future.